Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is the person on your mind, maybe people on your mind. What are they realizing about you? All right, so we have three groups for you to choose from: group one, two, and three. If you need to pause the video, feel free, and I will see you guys in your readings. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you, the person on your mind. What have they realized about you? What are they realizing about you? So we have the Empress in reverse, the Knight of Cups also in reverse, and the Four of Pentacles in the upright position. So the person you're asking about, it feels like, so please only take these messages if they make sense for the person you're asking about, all right? So it feels like they've realized that you might be maybe neglecting yourself, neglecting taking care of yourself, or like just maybe a certain area of your life. It feels like they've noticed that you might be trying to avoid financial troubles and difficulties and challenges, that you are trying to maybe get a handle on that before anything goes in like a south direction, you know. They've realized that you are very hardworking in their opinion, and it feels like they've also noticed from their perspective that you might be codependent, or like maybe codependent on a person. This could be on something else, like not really like a person, um, like a substance, for example. Just an example, guys. But so yeah, in some way, like they could feel that you are dependent or codependent, even if they haven't seen proof of this, which for some of you might be the case, but they still feel like they have their reasons for perceiving you that way. In their perspective, they feel that you could be needy and you need support, and that you may be unreliable for them. They could feel you take a lot without giving much in return, and this could be specifically related to them. It could be, related to, other people in your life or certain areas of your life. Because it also feels like they've realized that there are some people that you are very generous with, and they even feel that you're generous with them. So the message before this one could be about two different types of giving. Um, so they could feel that you are a little selfish. They could feel that you are a little close-minded. For some of you, that could be what makes them think that you're selfish. And also you being quite dependent on them or someone else, they could find that selfish. So it feels like this person has realized that when it comes to certain things, they feel that you can get in your own way. So it also feels like they've noticed that you could be currently feeling overwhelmed, or they feel that you become overwhelmed fairly quickly. Another thing they've realized is that you aren't very nurturing in their opinion. They also feel that there is someone in your life that you might be neglecting. They think that you are in a place where you're keeping all of your resources quite close to you. And it also feels like they've realized in their opinion that you might not have the most confidence, that you might feel that, so they perceive you as feeling as though you don't have enough love in your life. So they're assuming you feel that way. Maybe you've told them that, maybe you've confided in them. So they could also think that you might be feeling left out at the moment as well. So they've also realized that there are certain times where you are pushy, and then there are other times where you can be quite laid back and patient. Another thing they've realized is that you are self-protective, focused, and they could feel like you are focused on some type of like self-preservation. Another thing they've noticed in their opinion is that you can be moody or sensitive. They could also feel that you could be harboring jealousy towards someone or towards a certain group of people. They realize that they don't have much direction when it comes to you. They realize that there are some trust issues between you guys. Like they don't know if they can trust you, and they feel that you feel the same way. Like you don't, they feel that you don't really know if you can trust them as well. So another thing they've noticed is that they were idolizing you, that they were seeing you for more, not more than what you are, not that. Let me see. Like they were like seeing you for more than what was on the surface. So it's like maybe they were assuming a lot of stuff about you as opposed to kind of just knowing those stuff about you for sure. Um, so this could still be something that they are still trying to get around, not idealizing you in some way. And another thing they've realized is that they are, for some reason, disappointed in themselves with regards to you. For some of you, they're disappointed for not seeing you clearly. For others, it could be that, and for not speaking up. It could be about something else that you are more aware of as well. But another thing they've realized is that they feel that there's this uncomfortableness between you guys, and they don't really know what to do about it. They don't really know what to make of it. And yeah, so another thing they've realized is that you tend to be self-controlled. They've noticed that you are, trying to maintain stability, even though it might be difficult for you in their opinion. They also feel that you're focused on saving. Like they really do, for some reason, they kind of feel that you are being very mindful of your resources. They also realize that there is something that you're trying very hard to hold on to. It could be anything, honestly, like a person, a job. It could be like holding on to your emotions and not becoming overwhelmed or whatever it might be. Um, but yeah, they feel that you are trying really hard to hold on to something or someone. And this person has also realized that they may need to let you go. Um, it may not be as a whole. It could be, them idolizing you. It could be letting go of what your relationship was. It could be letting go of something specific within your relationship. But it feels like on their end, they kind of feel like they have some stuff that they need to figure out in regards to you and the relationship that you guys have. So moving on, we have stop whining. We have you care too much. We have follow in the footprints of greatness. We have dance, move to the rhythm of your soul. We have value your self-worth. And we also have make a change. So for some of you with stop whining, they could have realized that there's someone in your life that has stopped maybe confiding in you, maybe stop telling you their problems. With you are caring too much, they could feel that there are certain people in your life where you do care a lot about them. They could sometimes feel that you care too much in their perspective, or that's something that they feel they've realized. With value your self-worth, it feels like they've realized that you are starting to value yourself a lot more. With guide, following the footprints of greatness, and also with make a change, they feel like you are making changes in your life to be on a better path or to make better decisions, you know. They could feel that you are being guided by someone else, but they could feel that you are being guided into like a more positive path. So with dance, for some of you, please only take this if it makes sense, but they could have realized that you like to dance, or that there is a part of you that is very playful. For some of you, it feels like they've realized that they want to dance with you, maybe they want to go out with you, or just have that kind of playful moment with you. And finally, we have conservative, childlike, decisive, and busy. So it feels like they've realized that there is a part of you that is quite conservative. There's also a part of you that is quite childlike and playful. Another thing they've realized is that you can be quite decisive, or that you just are very decisive. And another thing they've realized is that you are maybe quite busy at the moment, or maybe you like to keep busy. But yeah. For some of you, it feels like they've realized that maybe you do like to keep busy. But that is all I have for those of you, excuse me, who chose this group. I hope it could be helpful, and I'm wishing you the best. Alright, take care. Bye. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen a second group, and this reading could be for you. The person on your mind, what have they realized about you? We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Alright, so in their opinion, they've realized that you could be being a bit childish when it comes to them. Having said that, they do feel that you are quite mature in general. Just they could feel like there is some, weird stuff happening between you guys. But they have also noticed that you could see them as immature, so they could feel like it's this mutual thing between you guys. Whereas in other environments with other people, they feel like you are perceived as mature, you know, even by them, just not when it comes to your specific relationship to them. So they, at the moment, they could feel that you weren't hearing them out. They could feel that you weren't making enough of an effort with them. They've realized that you could possibly consider them lazy in some area of their life or within their relationship with you, or just general laziness for some of you guys. They've realized that you are over some of their traits and characteristics. Like there's just certain things about them that you're kind of like over. They've noticed that you are tired of them. They've realized that you are holding back a bit more with them, maybe procrastinating, even moving a lot slower than you did before, that you're not as available to them as you used to be. They've realized that whatever game they were playing with you before isn't working. They've also realized that they should try to move on from you because they aren't going to get what they want from you. They've noticed that there are certain things that you could be insecure about. There's something about speech or communication for some of you guys. Uh, this insecurity could also be referring to your stability financially or something else you are more aware of. For some of you, they've noticed that you might not be organized. And this could be in general, or it could be within a specific area of your life. It could be with them specifically. But they feel that you often don't plan ahead. And for some of you, they could feel like you're not organized in your thinking sometimes. They've noticed that you can be blunt, direct, and assertive. They've also realized that you're very honest as well. They've noticed that you've had a breakthrough in some area of your life. It could be related to relationships, maybe socially within a group, or being seen in a more mature or serious way. But in some way, they feel like you've had a breakthrough. It could be in a way that resonates more with you. Another thing they've realized is that there are certain things about you that they do have a lot of respect for. This could be for the way you carry yourself. If any of you here are quite fiery, this is something they have respect for. And your confidence. They've also realized that you're quite switched on, you're smart, you're focused, you have, great perception, you have good ideas, that you have a good outlook on certain things. They also realize that you are very clear headed as well. So earlier when I said they could feel that you're disorganized in your thinking, they could think that when it comes to like a specific, just a certain time where you are disorganized in your thinking, like when you're overwhelmed, for example, or when it comes to them specifically or someone else or within a certain environment. So they may not feel like you're disorganized in your thinking all the time, just within specific scenarios. But other times they do feel that you are very focused and clear-headed. They also feel that you are good at reading people. They've noticed that you are quite successful as well. So they do feel that you have good judgment. They feel like you have great insight on certain things. I think I said that already, but yeah, they do think you do have good insight. And they've also realized that you have, or you would, see through any betrayal on their part, in general as well, to be fair. They've realized that you are quite a tricky person because you're smart, you're not easy to fool. So you're a bit tricky in their mind. They've also noticed, in their opinion, that you have motives when it comes to them that they aren't aware of yet. And they've also realized that they can't just fly under the radar with someone like you. And another thing they've realized is that they may need to confess something to you soon as well. So we have take a trip. We have some good things are about to happen. We have transition, release attachments to what was and prepare for what is to come. We have flood, express your emotions. We have multifaceted, accepting challenges. So with accepting challenges, they feel that they should have accepted the challenges between you guys instead of maybe running from them or being dismissive of them. They've realized that you are quite emotional in their opinion, but they've also realized that it could reach a point where it's too late for them to express something to you, like how they're feeling, or this could be some type of honesty that they feel like they need to express, but they realize that it could reach a point where it's too late. With transition, release attachments to what was and prepare for what is to come. Earlier in the reading, there was a message about you achieving a breakthrough, like in some way, like they do feel that you are about to transition. Maybe you're already going through this transition, but they do feel that there may come a point in the future or the near future where you may become out of their reach, you know. With multifaceted, they realize that you are a multifaceted person, that you're not just like black and white. There is gray areas when it comes to you, that you do have a lot of layers to you as well. They realize that you may need to take a break, or that's something that you're deciding to do, is take a break, whether that be taking a break from them, taking a break in another area of your life. This might not be something that you're actively doing right now. This could be something that they think you need to do, in their opinion. And finally, with some good stuff is about to happen, they could realize that some good things are about to happen for you. Again, like this could come back to a breakthrough or to a transition, or just feeling like you are on a path that will kind of align you with good things, you know. And we also have confident, we've got self-confident, we have sensitive, we have worried, and we have hypocritical. So this message already came out before with flood. So they could have realized that you are quite sensitive or emotional. They realize that you are very self-confident. They could realize that you are worried about something. That was clarified by Five of Wands and Five of Swords. For some of you, they could feel that you're worried about a conflict, or maybe you're just worried about conflict in general, and that's something that they feel you maybe don't want to be involved in. And for some of you with hypocritical, they could have realized that in their opinion, they feel that you're quite hypocritical towards them. But yeah, that is all I have though for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it can be helpful, and I'm wishing you the best. Okay, take care. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the third group, then this reading could be for you, the person on your mind. What have they realized about you? Okay, so we have the Hermit upright, the World upright, and the Emperor upright. So what they've realized about you is that you tend to be on the quieter side. They feel that you are both, you're both quite trusting and trustworthy, but they don't think that you're trusting in a naive sort of way. They've noticed that you're not as introverted or reserved as you seem, even though you're on the quieter side. They notice that you may not be, you know, that reserved or introverted, but that there are certain environments where you do tend to isolate yourself more or take a step back a bit more. They realize that you are very aware, you know, in general, that you're just paying attention, that you notice everything, even if it's not obvious or you don't make a big deal out of it. They realize that you are honest and direct, but you don't, or you don't like to get underneath people's skin. So it's like they realize that you can be quite direct without getting under people's skin. They realize that you help them reflect, that you could also help other people reflect. They also realize that you are an experienced person, like you've been around the block, you know, that you've maybe seen a lot, maybe done a lot, you know, but in some way they do feel you are very experienced. They also feel like you know what you're talking about, so they could feel like you're quite knowledgeable as well. So they also think that you give them enlightenment. They notice that you are actually a very simple person from what they've noticed. They realize that you may not be overly friendly, or you're just not very friendly, like on the surface. And another thing that they feel they've noticed is that you may not like to be around everyone like that. They've realized that you have this inner calm, that you are, or you seem to be at peace with yourself, that you're just a really balanced person. They've realized that you have achieved a lot for yourself. They've also noticed that you could be nearing an end of a cycle, that you might be ready for change, or they can just feel that you're changing, or they feel like the nature of your relationship is changing. Another thing they've realized is that you are incredibly hardworking from their perspective. They also feel that you can be quite strict, like no nonsense, that you don't really like the BS, and that they notice that you are just a straightforward and simple kind of person, and they think that you prefer when other people take that approach with you. Another thing they realize is that you like structure, you are a very disciplined person, and they also notice that you are very organized. So we have you are loved. We have drop the ego. Express your true feelings. Heal yourself, doctor. We have let yourself sparkle and shine. We have face your fears, and I will do these ones after. So even though they feel you are on the quieter side, what they've realized is that even though you're on the quieter side in their perspective, that your energy is still big, like your aura is still magnetic. And with let yourself sparkle and shine, they feel like you do that without being, too much or whatever. With express your true feelings, they realize that there are things that they still are wanting to express to you. They want you to know how they truly feel about you. They could be a little scared to do this, like there is some hesitancy. I don't really see them doing that in the near future. Another thing they've realized about you with Dr. Heal Thyself, they've noticed that you are quite a healing person for other people. Like this could be mentally, emotionally, physically. With Face Your Fears, they realize that there are certain things that you are still trying to face in your life. With Drop the Ego, they've realized that you are someone that doesn't have an ego in there, from what they've noticed. And they realize that when they're approaching you, that they need to not have an ego when they're approaching you as well, And another thing they've realized about you is that you are loved. For some of you, this may not be something that they see in your life right now, like you being loved, but if it feels like they can see this in your future, you being loved. Especially if the love is coming out to clarify as well. So with impartial, we have independent, we have cheeky, and we have casual. So with impartial, they've realized that you don't like to choose sides. Maybe you don't like to get involved in, conflict or drama, that you rather kind of just stay out of it, remain impartial to certain things. There are, certain occasions where you may, be decisive when it comes to, taking a side, like, right and wrong. But if it's just two silly situations, then they feel like you don't really get involved, but that you will get involved when the situation is, when it calls for it. Another thing they realized about you is that you are incredibly independent, clarified by the Queen of Swords. I mean, these cards down here are pretty strong as well, Major Arcana, so they do see you as quite strong, independent. For some of you with cheeky, for some of you, they realize that you can be a bit sarcastic. Maybe you have like a sarcastic sense of humor. But another thing they've realized is that you do tend to be quite a casual person. And I think I said this earlier in the reading, but they see you as this person that is just quite simple. But yeah, that is all I have though for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could be helpful and make sense, and I'm wishing you the best. Alright, take care. Bye.